The fool's mate. This is the quickest possible checkmate in chess, and it can only happen if white makes two blunder. The moves start with f3, e5, and g4. Finally, checkmate with queen slide to h4 square. Easy, right? The trap depends on white pushing both the f-pawn and the g-pawn forward, leaving the king completely exposed along that open diagonal. It is almost never seen in play, but beginners sometimes fall into it when they try to develop too aggressively without paying attention to their king's safety. The scholar's mate. This four-move checkmate targets the weak f7 square, starting with e4, e5, and white brings out the queen to h5 following with the bishop to c4, aiming both pieces directly at that pawn. If black does not defend properly, the queen captures the pawn on f7 and delivers checkmate right next to the king.
Many casual players learn this pattern early, but experienced opponents will easily block it by pushing the g-pawn or simple knight f6.
The legal trap. This clever sequence sacrifices a queen to force a checkmate with minor pieces. We start with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, and d6, opening the diagonal. Move on with knight c3 and bishop g4. White plays the move knight take pawn e5.
The real intention of this move is threatening to capture the f7 pawn. If black greedily takes the queen, white responds with bishop take f7 check, king run to e7, and knight d5 checkmate. The knight delivers the final blow, while other pieces control the escape route. It works because the natural instinct is to capture the queen, and few players expect that the queen was only bait.
The Damiano trap. Named after the Portuguese chess player, after the standard opening moves e4, e5, knight f3, and f6, knight takes pawn e5, thinking they have won a piece, but white replies with queen h5 check, attacking both king and e5 pawn. Black can play g5, try blocking the attack, but white queen is going to snap off the e5 pawn with a check. Black queen then blocking the attack with e7. Finally, white can just take the free rook on h8. What makes this trap so effective is that the fork comes with a check, so black has no time to save both pieces. White gains a big material advantage without ever needing to attack the king directly. The Blackburn shilling trap. This trick is a favorite among club players and begins with a seemingly harmless gambit in the Italian game. Starting with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, and knight d4, offering a pawn on e5. And if white accepts with knight takes e5, black plays queen g5, attacking the knight. If white try to be greedy by taking the pawn on f7, thinking they can win a material with forking both queen and rook, black then take pawn g2, threatening to take the rook and deliver checkmate. Rook has to move to f1, queen then take pawn e4 check. White has no choice but to blocking either with queen or bishop, but in the end it doesn't really matter because black has checkmate on f3 with knight. White can't take the knight because of the pin. The trap preys on white's desire to grab material without considering the positional loss and weak king's safety. It is a sharp reminder to always prioritize your king's safety first before attacking. The Englund gambit trap. This chess opening is definitely not for the heart-of-fainted, and it's more suitable for blitz games rather than classical games. Starting with d4 and black respond with e5. The real reason in sacrificing a pawn is black aims for faster development and seizing the initiative early. The move is ongoing with knight c6, knight f3, and queen e7, attacking the e5 pawn. The game moving with bishop f4, queen b4 forking both bishop and king. Bishop then has to retreat to d2, and queen then take the pawn on b1. The poison move, start if bishop try attack the black queen with c3, there's brilliant move with bishop b4, pinning the white bishop. White bishop has to take the black bishop on b4.
The game goes on with white having terrible position at the move 8, with a weak pawn on c2 and rook completely hanging on a1. The Stafford gambit trap. This opening has become famous through online chess, and it relies on a sequence of forcing moves that look natural but are deeply flawed because there were a ton of trap. Starting with general move e4, e5, knight f3, and a little bit change of position with knight f6, giving the free pawn on e5. Black sacrifices a pawn and gives up all center pawns. In return, Black hopes to get initiative and an attack on the king side. Moving with knight take e5 pawn, knight c6, 2 horsey then got traded with d pawn. Move continue with bishop c5 and bishop g5. In this position, ladies and gentlemen, there's brilliant move, and I'm going to give you a pause for you to solve it. The move is knight take pawn on e4. We sacrifice the queen for a checkmate if white tried to be greedy. Let's say white just take the queen. There's stunning move with bishop take pawn on f2 check. King has to run to e2. Finally checkmate with bishop g4.